Cadillac dominated the opening day of free practice for the 24 Hours of Daytona, ending all three sessions at the top of the times. Alex Palou set the fastest lap across 4.5 hours of running, a 1:35.589, with the Whelen Cadillac of Pipo Derani second after topping night practice. Felipe Nasr was third for Porsche Penske, ahead of Proton's Gian-Maria Bruni, Matthew Yamane in the second Penske car, and BMW's Nick Yellerly. But with qualifying complete last week, the focus was on race running rather than individual lap times, so the leaderboard is largely irrelevant at this point. A couple of GTP teams ran into problems, with the number 10 Acura having brake issues in free practice 1, and the number 7 Porsche doing just 16 laps in FP2. Apologies for the lack of details in this one, I'm usually much better, but the people who set my exam timetable sadly didn't look to avoid clashes with IMSA sessions. In LMP2, Malte Jakobsen went quickest for CrowdStrike Racing by APR, whilst Earl Bamber put Corvette fastest in GTD Pro. On the whole, it wasn't a great day for Corvette though, as they missed yet more running with the 3-car needing, according to John DeGeese and Sportscar 365, another engine change. The quickest GT car, ahead of all of the pros, was Catherine Legg in the Gradient Racing Acura, Cat continuing a very impressive showing at Daytona so far. Pfaff Motorsports and Vassar Sullivan both skipped night practice, presumably already happy with their setup. GT teams are already using their race tyre allocation, so limited running could prove advantageous later on. I don't usually talk about balance of performance, but with 10 of the 11 GT cars having midweek changes, a lot of teams will have had to make some setup tweaks from what they found last week. The unchanged car was the Lexus, which makes a lot of sense. The RCF GT3 is the oldest car on the grid, and being ran by the same drivers and team as the last few years, making an ideal benchmark. Other changes have been made to balance where the cars are making up time, rather than their outright speed. The Porsche, for instance, has been given a reduced wing angle to improve straight line speed, where it was lacking, but that comes with an increase in weight to stop it becoming too OP. The 4 drivers who missed the Raw, Romain Dumas, Brendan Aribe, Andy Lally and Dorian Pan, all turned laps, and we had yet another day with no long red flag interruptions. One thing to keep an eye out for is the risk of rain in the race, with the forecast always changing, but currently giving a 30% chance of a wet start. Friday sees the teams have one final free practice session before we go racing, as the support classes take to the limelight with races for both the Mazda MX-5 Cup and Michelin Pilot Challenge. Who do you think will win the Rolex 24 Hours of Daytona? Please let me know in the comments below, and whilst you're down there, why not press that like button and subscribe to the channel? It really helps me out.